What's up, dog? What's up, Will Smith? How you doing, man?
What's up? What's up? It's your boy Will Smith with Red and Bold. I'm here with my co-host Joe Mobley. You know what it is. We finna talk Chiefs
Bring it up.
football. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna waste no time. We got big
Nope.
news, man. Earlier today, we got some great news regarding defensive back coming back to the Chiefs. Jaylen Watson was designated to come back from the IR. He actually practiced today, so there's a 21-day window, I believe, to activate him. So he should be back for the playoffs. They showed him out there practicing. He was doing some cutting and everything. The boys running. Bruh,
It's a
like
big deal.
what does this do for the Chiefs defense, Joe, to have a
Man.
Jaylen Watson available for the playoffs?
Watson, yes! That boy is good.
Lets us play a little bit more, you know, like our defensive coordinator wants us to play. Uh, Single coverage, ultimate responsibility, next man up mentality. We got to keep it going. To see him come back right now, Nelson out of retirement, all these different things that we have to hopefully provide a boost to our secondary only sweetens the pot. I think it makes things better. And I think we know that that's an improvement, probably something that anybody potentially facing us was hoping would remain in the current status that it was, and now it won't be. And I got a feeling that after that rest and all the work he's done to recover, he's hungry, not hungry, hungry. He's ready
Yo,
to take care of business. So
for sure.
it's time to eat. I think bro gonna come back with a renewed sense of vigor, and I think it's gonna pay benefits for our squad.
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna come back and be a dog. I know from
But dog,
I can speak on the college level. When I got injured, bro, I was so ready to come
yeah,
back and just play football. So I know
yeah,
he's chomping at the bit, as they say. And so
bro.
what this does, man, it's like they were already playing good and had to adjust without him.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing what they did versus the Steelers, and said Pickens of Joshua Williams is playing good. Najee Johnson every now and then you get him out there. Then you got
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Hicks comes in at safety, balling. And it's just the defense is looking good, especially our secondary. And what this does, man, like we can really play that man to man. Don't have to play as much zone, what I'm saying, as we do. Not that we play a lot, but
Yeah.
we're when we play man,
Yeah.
it gives our pass
It's
rushers some
not.
time. It's nasty,
It,
right?
it's
And
nasty. It's not. I
bruh,
mean that gives our defensive line the ability to do what they do. And you mentioned Pittsburgh briefly. I just want to say, all of the defensive goodness that we saw during that
mm,
game, and we didn't even have who arguably may be the best defensive player in the league playing. Chris Jones was not
yeah,
there. He was
yeah,
not in the game. And I think we did a heck of a job. We made Russell look like Rusty Wilson. That's how I feel about it.
Rusty Wilson.
Rusty Wilson, you know.
Oh man, you're right, man. To see that defense doing what they did, even without Chris Jones, and then you add Jaylen Watson. So what that does is you could essentially slide Trent over to that slot if you want to. You could switch him in and out because he I believe he played a little more slot last year or whatever, what have you,
Yeah.
with Snead out there. And then so you could have Williams on the outside, you could have Watson
Mhm.
on the outside, you can slide Trent in. You can do a lot of different
Yeah.
things in that secondary when you have Jaylen Watson come back, and then you have, Joshua Williams and a Trent McDuffie that can just
Right.
lock down guys. And he's been locked down this season. You know what I'm saying?
You just don't, and then it open doors. The thing you do know, the thing that you do know is that the blitzes are coming. But
Yeah. The
when we
corner
have
blitz.
that type of support, you just don't know where or when it's coming from. So you got to be prepared in that regard, understanding that with a boosted secondary, with
Mm,
a healthy secondary,
healthy secondary.
things
Health,
just got a little bit more interesting. And the D line, there's a renewed dog in them. I mean, you could just, I don't know if it's so many of you. I'm not sure if it's,
Yo.
that young man from the Patriots. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm looking over there. The motors are rolling, and um, bless them. I tell you, I listened to some of the sports commentating,
Hmm.
and it's just like the lady said. Um, is there anybody out there to challenge the Kansas City Chiefs on ESPN? Is there anybody? And she said at the end of the day, I just can't name a team that has the package or the necessary resources to really offer them a challenge. Like on that movie 300, can somebody offer me a decent fight? Offer me a Warriors death. I don't think it's anybody out there for, and I think as fans that makes us almost uncomfortable because we've spent so many years on the edge of our seats. But isn't this what all organizations work for and work toward? Is to be at the best of the game. I mean, you got Mahomes, didn't even get voted into the Pro Bowl.
Hey, we're gonna talk about that stuff too, man. But in this and thinking about where we're at defensively, being so dominant, and we're going to essentially be the healthiest we've ever been, with having Omenahu back, who's been back for the last maybe 3 or 4 weeks, getting
Mhm.
his feet back wet again, and then having a healthy Chris Jones with no calf strain come playoff time, and then having a healthy Jaylen Watson, and so everybody back. The way our defense is playing, they're the number two scoring defense in the league right now, with just I think the Chargers may be right above them. But essentially, like when you look at it, we have the best defense. Like I don't see another team that has a defense better than ours. You could look at the Broncos; they have a great defense, but the Chiefs essentially make plays when it matters. The best D line when you consider Chris Jones and Tashawn Wharton and Karlaftis, and you know what I'm saying, just so many Omenahu, just so many guys that can come in and make plays. And so
It's
this
a
brings me
blessing,
to
bro.
so
It's a
now
blessing. It's a
what's the
blessing.
difference? The Chiefs
Mhm.
offense has picked it up. There's a difference in the Chiefs offense with Hollywood Brown. What does Hollywood Brown bring to this offense, Joe? That's what I want to talk about, man. This offense was looking the last 2 weeks with Hollywood Brown in there is
Mhm.
different, bro. You can see it.
Yeah. It's like Claude said on Life. Hollywood Brown is a nasty mother. He's nasty. He runs around and causes problems. Here, let me tell you what Hollywood Brown offers. Hollywood Brown offers a level of talent that teams just don't have the resources available to even deal with. How do you deal with Worthy, Brown, Juju Smith Schuster, and then
D
don't
Hop.
get me started on my fella. Don't get me because he got to get in there and get his bag. He got to get in there and get his bag. But how you gonna deal with all of that? Kelsey too. You don't
Noah
have
Gray.
no. You don't have. I mean, to be honest, old boy's not playing too bad. What's his name? Not the other one. Not the one they
Who?
talking about might be a cornerback next year, but the other boy, that other one, that other one. Is it start with an S? Start with the last name Smith. Is it Smith? Or
What position, sir?
it's a Justin. It's a Justin
Oh,
something.
Justin Watson.
Watson,
Watson. He
yes.
ain't doing too
That
Watson.
bad.
boy is
He
good.
ain't that boy
Watson.
good. That boy good. That
Yeah,
boy good.
that boy
That boy
good.
good. That boy good. Watson. Watson.
Watson.
So that's what I'm saying.
Well,
Like Randy on Coming to America.
I
But what I'm saying
thought
is,
about that earlier
but
today.
all of that stuff, when you have cornerbacks, I mean wide receivers that are playing like that, not to mention the return of McCole,
I know, right? I think
right?
he's always a sleeper to me. I think people really underestimate what
Bro,
McCole Hardman
bro,
brings to the offense, bro.
it's that's a lot of speed, okay? That's a lot of speed. That's a lot of talent. That's a lot of technique, route running, professionalism to deal with. So if I'm Hollywood Brown, I'm a kid in a candy store. What you gonna do? You probably prep to cover Kelsey because you got to. You probably prepped to some extent to make sure you accounted for Worthy because you have to. You probably prepped to some extent to try to deal with Juju in the middle, but you got to. And then you got me over here. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean
I mean, we ain't
you
even
got to
gonna
pick
talk
your
about D
poison, bro.
Hop.
We talk,
D
yeah,
Hop, D
yeah,
Hop is a bunny. He's a bunny.
yeah. That
Good
catch he
hand.
made on the sideline, bro.
Nasty.
Yeah, that was it was a nasty catch. There's a couple that I wish that I know he wish he could have back. Couple drops that he had, but D Hop is still like that, man. And he's a third down chain mover. Need to have it. He gets open, bro, and he typically makes
Bro.
90 to 95% of the time he gonna make that catch.
It's a bad deal when you know that a man has come to a point where I'm not always expecting him to make the ridiculous catches that some of the passes thrown his way
Mhm.
would be, but I appreciate those pass interference.
The effort that he puts
Them
into it.
pass interference flags will work. Well,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
take one in goal all day long.
Yeah, because typically, like if he doesn't catch it, he's drawing a flag most of the time, bro. Because
Right.
he just knows how the nuance of the game. It's almost like him playing a position in basketball, just waiting on that pass, and just like him boxing somebody out, or you know, what I'm saying just get position to where he just knows, like if hey, if I don't catch this, I'm gonna draw a flag because dude, what he gonna do? You don't say he ain't turning around.
No, you
Yeah,
can't do.
it's
I look at it like that. What and all reality, and even in listening to some of the cornerbacks who have had to deal with him, what are you supposed to do when a man you can tell was molded to play and do the job he's doing? The size of the man's hands are unheard of. That is unreal. And the thing is, it would be different if he had the tools and didn't know how to use them. You're talking about a man who has perfected his craft. He has perfected his craft. Hawkins is not playing checkers. This man is out there playing chess. And the thing about it is, as the relationship begins to organically grow between him, Mahomes, and the rest of the offense,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
bro, it's not really fair. I don't even think that I'll go ahead and say it. I don't even know that our offensive coordinator has the bandwidth to appreciate what he has in front of him.
Well,
Which,
Andy does.
yeah,
And
I know
he
Andy
typically calls
does.
the play. You know,
Yeah, I know Andy. I know
Andy's
Andy got it.
like a
But
kid in the
that
candy store
man,
right now.
yeah, that man, he can't even appreciate it. He don't. I'm
Hey,
sorry, Matt Nagy. I bless you, sir. I'm sure there's a place for you, but I don't know this.
hey, I guarantee you Andy's got some plays for this playoffs that we have not seen in the regular season, especially having Hollywood back that he, you know what I'm saying, that they
Yeah,
would plays that they were running in the training camp that they, they didn't essentially get to run because Hollywood Brown was out, or that they may have ran, but it just wasn't that same speed at that same speed. And so I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm excited
it's
about
man.
the
I'm looking
playoffs.
forward to it because I think it's almost like when you playing a video game. You know, I mean, I'm just saying. But back in the day when you were serious about being on your video game, and especially if you're in college, make you a couple of dollars on the side. Some of y'all know, I know about it. But I'm just saying, and you're up against an opponent that's inferior. You try to maintain your decor, but at the end of the day, like I always tell y'all, if loving the Chiefs is wrong, then I don't want to be
I
right.
don't wanna
I
be
don't want to be right
right.
because
Yeah,
this
man.
is what we prayed, bro. We prayed for this for years.
Yeah, man. It just seems unreal. Now I really feel like we're going to. I'd be very surprised if we did not make it to the Super Bowl. I would be very surprised. I have that expectation. I just don't see. I don't see another team being able to deal with our defense. I don't see anybody being able to stop our offense. Um,
You got to
like,
stop
and
Arrowhead. You have
you
to
got to come into
stop
Arrowhead.
Arrowhead.
Yeah.
You got to stop Arrowhead, which in our two previous Super Bowl appearances and victories, there were opportunities, if I'm not mistaken, where all roads didn't come through Arrowhead. We had to earn what we got as far as an AFC championship there. But this year, all of those things have to come through Arrowhead. This is not years previous, and I think that Chiefs fans, there's a little bit more of a holler in us, than than what you've heard previously. I think they need to go and bring out Guinness Book of World Records again. Get
Mm,
ready, because we may crack a couple of pillars in there,
yeah, I feel like we're
or
gonna
whatever.
demolish somebody
Yeah.
this playoffs game. And so yeah, man. So this brings me to our next, and the thing is we figured out worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is you go ahead and start Joe Tooney at that left tackle position if Humphreys is gonna play Saturday. And so we'll see what Humphreys look like, get his reps in. You will love to have Humphreys play well. That way you can slide Tooney back to that guard position. That just makes the line that much stronger. You
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So hopefully Humphreys looks good enough to and then if he starts to have lapses even in the playoffs, you can go to Tooney, right? So I mean, at worst case
Yeah.
scenario, we got the left tackle position figured out.
I just don't. I mean, the excitement that I saw from Humphreys the first game that he
Mhm.
got to play, I
Yeah,
hate that, whatever injury this was that he experienced came
it was
about.
a
But
hamstring.
I feel like that the man brings a level of energy and excitement
Yeah, he
that
does.
our whole line can appreciate. I think that, all things remain constant. I'm praying for his health and his strength, because I didn't see nothing from him when he was in there that wasn't encouraging.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
think that there's a good deal. You know how the dogs bark at night. You know how they bark. They bark, and then they give you that last one. You get that last one at nighttime. They give they get, I think that Humphreys is about to bring that final bark to the offensive line that we needed. I'm not saying we about to experience Willie Rofe, Will Shields, Alt, and John Tate. I'm not saying that we going there, but I think that we about to be in a position where,
Mhm.
for what we're about to be facing,
Yeah,
that offensive line is going to be more than what defensive lines and other defenses are prepared to handle with Humphreys in there healthy. That man is
yeah.
excited
He's
like
got
he's
good feet. He's got
play.
good
He's
feet.
ready to play, bro. He's ready.
That's what I saw when he was out there. He's got good feet, man. And it was maybe like one or two times where, it was a little shaky, but I mean, it was his first game back after a minute. So I expect
Yeah.
him he's a dog, man. And so I expect him to
Go.
compete and not give up nothing easy at all. And so that just like I said, that's you got Humphreys out there, Tony, Creed,
Man.
Trey, Jawan if he stays on side.
Who can't get amped
You
up?
know what I'm saying?
Who can't get amped up for another ring?
Yo.
I'm just saying, who can't? If you can't get amped up for another ring, I'm not sure what to tell. I think that we have enough veterans on our team
Mhm.
who don't have rings,
Right. Yeah.
who
Some first year guys and
first
the
year,
rookies.
first time ever opportunity to legitimately get there. There are some guys on that team
D Hop
that
for
have,
one.
yeah, being one, bro, we're going. I don't care what happens. We're going. They've never experienced that.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not because they don't have the ability or the talent, but it really does take a perfect, not a perfect, but a very, very much methodical and thoughtful roster to competitively be in there. And I used to think that that was, just a bunch of nonsense when they say, it's hard to win an NFL game. But
Hmm.
bro, it's a real challenge to bring a W out. And what if we've done that how many times this season?
Yeah.
Sorry. Just saying.
Besides Humphreys, is there anybody you're looking forward to Saturday to see them get some reps? Either on the offensive side or the defensive side of the ball, since
I
we are
think
playing
that
mostly
for
backups.
me, I just think that for me, if you're gonna be playing, I do like the ideal of Carson Steele getting some reps in there on the offensive side of the ball. I'm always happy to see our defensive line, those guys that may be kind of providing breaths to our starters. Those guys to see them get reps is always exciting to me, and it's always exciting because what's been proven to me is our backups or whatever if you want to call them that, those guys are legitimate probably starters on other teams, and they bring that level of energy that is just unreal. So yeah, I'm looking at the D line overall
Hmm.
right there. I love our linebacking core. Leave those guys alone, let them do what they do, but even with Chanel, I mean, this stuff is, dude, it's a nasty, nasty thing to have to face our defense. And that's one thing. But it's an even nastier thing when you get to the point where we're talking about someone having to face, our offense.
Hmm.
I think that we finally saw just a little bit. I don't
Hmm.
think that Andy ever shows much.
Yeah.
There's a strong chance
Hmm.
that Andy showed us more this past week against the past game against Pittsburgh
Hmm.
than we've saw in the last 3 years at this point. That was more, our offense to me, it looked very, very nasty to
Yeah,
me.
yeah, and
Yeah,
that's why I say it's
yeah,
gonna be nasty for
yeah.
somebody gonna get demolished. And I'm
Yep.
trying to tell you, don't let us get up early too, boy. I'm trying to tell you, and they
Uh,
just can pin their ears back, and a team gets away from running the ball, and it's like, ooh,
you're not
so,
you're not gonna bring my man to the Pro Bowl. So now
uh,
you gonna offer him
ooh,
that fuel on his fire?
mm,
You want to
mm,
offer him that? That
yeah,
fans, some of the haterism is somebody gonna pay for that.
yeah. For
Somebody
me,
gonna pay for that.
it's actually I'm trying. It's hard for me to pick one guy because I want to see Nico Remigio at the wide receiver. I also want to see Justin Ross, see what he does. Um, if somebody else, it was Jaden Hicks is going to get more time at that safety position, and he's looked good, bro. Like he's a dog. He's a ball hawk. He just he's a football player, bro. And so
I think it's a great game, like you said. But yeah, those sound good, man. But, I mean, Denver's gonna bring everything they
FAU,
got.
you know,
Yeah.
FAU, Felix and UDK Uzoma,
Boop, 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 boop.
you silly. All right, so yeah, looking forward to that. So last thing, man, I want to talk about, man. Do you think it was I want to say it's a snub in regards to like and this isn't about Pro Bowl. He,
Mhm.
he definitely should have been Pro Bowler, but MVP. I don't necessarily think Mahomes should win. But the funny thing is, he's not even in the conversation,
Mhm.
and he should at least be in the conversation because, for one, your team has the best record in the league. You've dealt with. We've talked about it before with all the injuries that he's had to overcome with the skill
Yeah.
positions on the offense.
For me, I agree with you on the thing. I guess you could call it a snub, but I call it just hating. And the thing is, though, we got there faster than I thought we would. I thought
Hmm.
it would take us as long as it took the Patriots, to get there. Bro, we're very much a hated franchise now after three, couple about 4 years, and we're more hated than the Patriots. I ain't never seen Tom
Yeah, people
Brady,
are tired of seeing the Chiefs in the Super
bro.
Bowl.
They don't want it. My man can't get to the Pro Bowl.
I know
Come
that's
on,
that's
man. He's
wild,
out here.
man. That's
He's still
wild.
doing. He's still doing stuff we never seen.
And they
He's
want to
still
base it
doing stuff.
on solely stats. It's wild. It's like they try to. It's not
Yeah,
one extent. It's not just wins, and it's also not just stats, but it's a collaboration of both
yeah,
wins, the stats, what you do on the field. You have to look at the whole a player's whole game and what he means, what he does for that team. And
yeah.
I
I think
guarantee you, there's not another quarterback in this league, bro,
nah,
that would have
man.
had this team at 15-1.
I mean, my thing with it is that you know that you deserve to make the Pro Bowl when if your team didn't have you, everything about what you stand for and what you've accomplished changes. We don't have Patrick Mahomes. This is a different conversation. all the way around. I'd like to believe that we could bring in old boy and potentially still make some noise, but we both know that we then are on the edge of our seats again, and this is a much different conversation. I just don't understand. I mean, come on, stop it, fans. Stop it. Y'all know that the man. Who else did you put in there? Burrow. It's not Burrowhead anymore. Okay. It's not
The fact that they still
Burrowhead.
even say that is wild to me. He's
I'm just
won
saying it's
how many
I
times?
don't know
Once.
who do you put in there? Who you
They
put? I mean,
got
we can't, what you
they
gonna
got
do?
Lamar, Josh, Burrow, and then Bo Nix, I believe. Let me see. Let me look at
Bo Nix? I
Hold
almost
on.
started cussing. I almost said a curse word.
Hold on, let me
Are
look
you
for real.
Bo Nix?
Hold on.
I'm not hating on the young man, but Patrick Mahomes, Bo
I saw
Nix.
that on the show. Somebody said Bo Nix had
Y'all,
more.
come on, man. I almost said, I don't want to. I don't even want to say it no more.
Let me
I'm just
see.
now getting my nephew to call me the right name. I'm gonna leave that alone. I ain't gonna even say that on tape. I don't
Let's
want you to
see.
have to edit that.
All right, let me
Bo
see.
Bo
So
Nix.
oh, okay. Dang, boy, Mahomes is way down there, so it's not about. So the odds are Josh Allen is the favorite. Then you got Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Saquon Barkley, Jared Goff, Sam Darnold, Jaden Daniels, Baker Mayfield, and then Mahomes at plus 5,000. It looks like so.
Hmm.
Yeah, so he's way down there, which is crazy. Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
Sam Darnold's been balling this year. I will say that, but
I mean, that Sam Donald. Yeah,
I
I agree with that. But
put Sam Darnold over Burrow because his team is winning.
well, that's the whole. Well, at the end of the day, that used to come. But you know what I've learned is that when that haterade gets too deep, logic don't fall where it's supposed to. And you didn't set up and put Bo.
Nah, he ain't on there. I heard
I'm
somebody
about
say
to
it on
say,
nah, Bo
I
Nix ain't there. That would have
did
been
you
wild to me too. Like Bo Nix, come on.
that would have been wrong.
Maybe like rookie of the year or something like that. If you want to put it in that.
Man, dude is unacceptable on a number of levels, and not even on a. Let me say this about Bo Nix. I appreciate the fact that he's able to perform, but I think that we have to be honest in saying I don't know if it's so much Bo as much as it's his coach. And when
Sean
we
Payton.
yeah, I mean, I think that you have an exceptional coach who's able really to speak, to you, uh, and that makes a big difference because even and I want to make sure I'm getting this name right, but the famous quarterback from Florida, he just does commentating now.
Who, Tim
Um,
Tebow?
Yeah, Tim Tebow. But even Tim Tebow was making that point on, to some of the people that he was talking to, that it's not so much about the playbook as much as it's about the relationship that you have. Something tells me that
Mm.
Peyton has been able to get into Bo Nix's space and
Mm-hmm.
they have an organic chemistry that's growing. I'm not saying it's not going to turn into something great, but it ain't surpassing
Yeah, I mean,
Patrick
he's looked
Mahomes.
good. I've seen him make some throws, and then I've seen
Yeah,
him look like, yeah, he's a rookie.
yeah,
But he's definitely played pretty well this season. Like he has his
yeah,
Broncos almost if they win, can get in the
yeah,
playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
that's a huge thing for a rookie quarterback. Like you got Jaden Daniels got his team in the playoffs, and so
But
yeah,
that's news.
yeah,
That was not. Jayden Daniels showed up right in the nick of time
yeah,
because if without his play there in those last two games,
hmm
I don't know that conversation. Uh, are them making an appearance happens, especially the game before last. I mean, he showed up. I just at the end of the day, I know people are gonna be mad at us,
Mhm.
But you might as well get ready to be mad at the Chiefs for a couple, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 more years. This is the way that they're doing this thing. People have to understand, even with the cornerbacks.
Mhm.
One of the ways that I feel like the cornerbacks are being breeded here in Kansas City is they're being tried by fire.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's what
Mhm.
happened, and they don't have a choice.
They
You either will perform or
yeah.
you'll be looking for something else to do,
Mhm.
you know. And I mean, you see that they'll go as far as to bring people out of retirement. So I mean, it's not a guaranteed thing, but people are in here getting the hard knocks lessons that they need to become exceptional at the job that they do. The only thing I'm waiting on is for them to be able to have the conversations they need to have so they can stay, as opposed to, being traded to other teams or going to other places. Because I'm hearing from some of these other corners, and they making it sound like I would have gladly taken a pay cut,
Mhm.
potentially, to stay, but somehow that's getting lost in translation with their agents and with our front office because people are not here that are saying, I would have took a pay cut. I wanted to stay. Well, you might want to make sure you get your agent trained. We're
Mhm.
not going to be paying much, much more. We probably are going to pay you less, but we'll be fair. I just don't see the reason in leaving. Honestly, the Chiefs are at a point where if you're in the AFC, I just don't know what you're going to
So what I was saying is like
do.
because you say you don't see anybody in the AFC, and my thing is like it's the Michael Jordan factor. I believe he's going
Yeah.
to stop a lot of guys that probably would have had, um, and it may be a year or two where somebody creeps in, just like with Tom Brady, somebody else finally wins one, and then it's going to be another two by Mahomes and three, but he's going to keep some guys from winning multiple championships or even one championship because of how great he is, and that's just like Michael Jordan did with winning those six championships. And so I think the thing is like Mahomes is the standard, bro. And other teams, especially fans, measure their quarterback and how good they are against Mahomes. Mahomes is measuring himself against his own standard, against himself. Now, as far as like the only other thing he's measuring himself by is Tom Brady's championships. That's it. Himself and Tom Brady's championships.
Yeah, but we're talking about he's
Mhm.
well on his way
Oh
to
yeah, for sure.
exceeding that.
He's
And,
already passed him statistically, so
right.
that's why I say just championships
And earlier, it's as much
at
as
this point in
I
his
would
career. I'll say
you
that.
know, as much as I would love to um, you know, appreciate, and I do appreciate it. I do think that there's competition. I do think that what we see in the AFC Championship prepares us for the Super Bowl, and I appreciate the competition that we have. But even when we turn back and look at the AFC West right now, I mean, man, it's tough out here in the AFC
Yeah, we
West.
could possibly have three teams in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
there's no hand-me-downs here. The AFC West has groomed itself as much as possible to compete with this exceptional athlete that you have in Patrick Mahomes. And the reality of it is the organization as a whole deserves an A plus. I mean, they're recruiting well,
Hmm.
they're drafting well,
Drafting well.
they're
Hmm.
developing well. You're keeping the right coaches around. Your front office is treating people right. Uh, the city loves you. They're doing the right things. They're giving honor where I don't rarely do I ever see anything of any magnitude happen where from the ownership on down that reverence is not given to God and Jesus Christ and thanks. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I think that this is just a blessing, from the good Lord come on down. And I really feel like, hey man, if God wants to bless you, it just ain't nothing nobody can do about it. I
Mm,
feel like I don't know what was going on. I mean, Patrick Mahomes could have been doing a number of different things. It
mm,
sounds like he's quite an athlete,
mm.
basketball, baseball wise. His number he could have won a couple of different ways.
Yo, and that's what we got for this episode of Red and Bold, man. Um, hopefully y'all enjoyed it. We appreciate you watching, taking the time to watch.
Mm.
Go Chiefs, man. We ready for them playoffs. Y'all know what it is. Going for that three-peat, trying to make history, NFL history in the Super Bowl era, something that's never been done. And I do believe that we can do it and that we will do it. Be the first team to ever three-peat in the Super Bowl era. But one game at a time. We got a game coming up against those Broncos, and y'all know what it is. So let's go Chiefs. Carson Wentz, let's see what you do, baby. But we gonna go ahead and jump out, man. Do shout outs real quick. For one, I want to shout out our sponsor, Ozell brand. It's not just a brand, it's a lifestyle. So be sure to check out Ozell brand. That's ozellbrand.com. He's
Mhm.
got cleats, he's got some book bags that he's come out with, MOE or MOE. So check out the book bags also. Some fashion sneakers as well as cleats for football, soccer, you know what I'm saying? Well, for baseball if you want to, you know what I'm saying? You heard?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
ozlbrand.com. Be sure to check it out. Also want to let's go ahead and shout out my guy, J Mo's BBQ. You know what I'm saying? Be sure to upgrade your meats and get some of that sauce. If you what do you say if you
If you
try
taste it,
you taste it.
if you taste it, you won't waste it.
If you're tasty, it won't waste it.
That's
JMOS,
right. That's
JMOSBBQ.com. Be
right.
sure to order your sauce today. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got no sauce on that BBQ, you better get some sauce on that BBQ. You know what I'm saying?
Game
Mm-hmm.
changer. Game
Upgrade
changer.
your meats. All right. And
Great.
also Legacy AD cartoon. Legacy AD is a faith-based comic book. So be sure to check that out. It's legacyadcartoon.squarespace.com. Order yours today. We have 2 issues out currently, along with a study guide for the first issue. We also have apparel. So we have t-shirts and hoodies, sweatshirts. You know, it's hoodie season. It's cold out there. Go ahead and get your Legacy AD hoodie with character on it. You know what I'm saying? LegacyADcartoon.squarespace.com. All right. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at REDANDBOLD. Be sure to, shoot us an email if you got a question or a topic, something you want us to talk about. If you want to reach out to us, it's red and bold podcast at gmail.com. All right. And so, also, Joe, I know you got Christian charity. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Um, all roads lead to Christian charity this week on Saturday due to the inclement weather that is expected. Nothing has changed. A lot of times they say, "Oh, you're gonna get a foot. Oh, you're gonna get this," and then you get the report, "Oh, it's gonna miss you guys. It's going around." No, none of that has happened. Everything has stayed very much sturdy in the fact that this is coming from national news to local news,
Mm,
and that at a minimum we can expect a foot. It sounds like it could be much more. So we are going to worship this Saturday at 10 a.m. as opposed to Sunday in an
mm,
effort to let everybody get in on that first Sunday. Take communion. I know it was the blood. I know it
mm.
was the
I
blood.
know
It
it
was the
was the
blood
blood.
for me. So y'all come on out.
Ooh.
Let's have a good time. Um, Full band, praise and worship's gonna be on fire. Might be cold outside, but we gonna set it on fire on the inside. Y'all come on in there, get the word. Bro been preaching his heart out. I started to throw a hymnal at him last week, but it is not appropriate.
Ah,
Nonetheless, again, all roads lead to Christian Charity Church, 11,000 Ruskin Way,
get that man
Kansas
some more
City, Missouri.
communion juice.
64134. I told my daddy, I said, maybe we ought to get some real wine. I had a couple of friends that if y'all was to serve real wine, I would come. I said,
Hey,
I
that's a
don't
whole
know
nother
about that.
conversation I won't get
My
into,
daddy
but
said, get out of that
I just
mess.
want
Get
to
out.
say when you're drinking grape juice, you are drinking real wine. There
I
were 2
guess
types of wine during that
if
time.
you
All
say so,
right, that's all I'm
folks,
saying.
if you let it get a little old, you let it get a little old. Just saying.
I'm just saying there was fermented wine and unfermented wine.
Fermented.
So
They want that
during
real
those time biblically, now when we say wine, we always think alcohol. We always think that it's fermented, but no, that was not the case because wine was also a diet of the children in those times, which was grape juice,
good for
freshly pressed grapes. Juice from the
Good for
grapes.
it.
Okay. From the vine of the grape. Just something real quick. You know what I'm saying? Something for y'all to think about. But thank
Yeah.
y'all for tuning in, man. It's red and bold. Go Chiefs.
Blessings. Yes, sir.
Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe, y'all. Go ahead and do that. Do that. Shout out to MTMV Sports. That's the umbrella that we're under, yo. So subscribe to the MTMV Sports channel. You can check out more red and bold as well as other shows under the MTMV Sports umbrella. Shout out to our owner and president Ernest Ricks, you know what I'm saying? Ricks and share, holla at my guy, holla at my guy, holla at my guy. And so hope everybody had a great holiday, great Christmas. It's a new year, 2025. You know what I'm saying? Trust in the Lord. You know what I'm saying? That's what I got for you. Trust in the Lord. Now is the
And
right time.
everything.
You know what I'm saying? Everything. And all you
Everything.
take all your cares and your worries,
Lean
anxieties, and
on
take it
him.
to the Lord and leave them
Yes,
there at his
sir.
feet and just trust in him, man. Because
Make no mistake about it. His shovel bigger than ours. No, you're right. Mm-hmm.
All right now. Love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. It's red and bold, baby.
Blessings.
Holla back.